To be honest, I'm a little bit surprised because, well, the first results I got back after being 2 months as a vegan were almost perfect. So really it's quite hard to improve on almost perfect results. And after being vegan for more than a year, I wasn't aware of any damage that I was doing because I hadn't tested myself before. So I guess this highlights the importance of always testing your beliefs. And I'm quite surprised. Hi guys, if you've been here before, welcome back. If you're new here, please subscribe to make sure that you see more videos that I create. Thank you so much for all the love recently on the videos I've been receiving, all the subscriptions. I really appreciate it, and I'll make sure I keep making good videos for you guys. Please hit the thumbs up to let me know that I'm doing a good job. I really appreciate that. So let's get into it. I've got my health test results back. I'm English and I moved to Spain for a job. 2 months after being here, I decided to go vegan. 2 months after that, my company offered all the colleagues a free comprehensive health study. I was naturally curious, so I took them up on the offer. I wanted to find out what happens 2 months after going vegan. I got the results back and they were almost perfect. There was just a few values that are outside of the recommended range, so pretty good, I didn't die. I've just received the health test results back from the second time, the year after being vegan, so being vegan over a year. And now I'm able to compare 2017 to 2016's result to see how much change being vegan has made over the year. Let me express to you why this is so important to me. When I was 19 years old, I was diagnosed with an illness called colitis. I lost a lot of weight and I did not feel good. I spent a lot of time in the hospital, in and out with frequent visits. When I was 28, 29, I decided to go vegan. Within 2 months of going vegan, I noticed that my symptoms had completely disappeared. But I didn't know whether that was because I've gone vegan or maybe just because of coincidence. The second reason why this is really important to me is because I wanted to be transparent with you guys. For over a year, my family and friends on social media have put up with me talking about how much better the vegan lifestyle is. So whether the results were good or bad, I wanted to be completely transparent and show people what being vegan for a year really does to your body. Just a quick disclaimer, I am not a doctor, so if you decide to change your diet, please do check with your doctor first and also realise the importance of investigating for yourself the impact that diet has upon your health. So I've got the health test results right here with me. Here I've got a health test result from 2016 and I've also got a health test result from 2017. They are both tested by the same company. Okay, so that removes the bias or different testing methodologies of two different companies testing in different ways. I've also had the test done in November each year, so if there's any ways that my body reacts to seasonal differences in any ways, it's consistent in that approach at least. Before each health test result, I did not make a special effort with one health test and not make an equal effort with the other. I was consistent in my behaviour and my diet for both health tests. Lastly, there were no big changes to my lifestyle. I didn't start smoking, I didn't start drinking heavily, I've never taken drugs, so those factors don't come into play with these health test results. Maybe the only big difference between myself in both of the health studies is in 2017, I was 1 year older, I was a 30-year-old man. So first up, let's look at the simple stuff, the height and the weight and the BMI. So in the first year, 2016, 177 centimeters tall, that's about 5'10". There was no change from 1 year to the other. They're both 177 centimeters. In 2016, my weight was 76 kilograms, and in the second year it was 73 kilograms. So there's a 3 kilogram weight loss. During the year, I've not been trying to lose weight, I've not been trying to gain weight, I've just been eating whatever I want, as long as it is a vegan diet, so that's what I've been going for. So that leads us to BMI, the body mass index. So in the first year, my BMI was 24.26. Not bad, it's within the ideal range, which is good, but I think it's slightly towards the higher end of the ideal range if we're being super fussy. That's the first year. The second year it's 23.3. So it's come down a little bit, still in the ideal range, but I guess if we're being super fussy, it's more within the ideal range than the first set of results. So next up is blood pressure. So blood pressure is a great way of understanding whether your heart is struggling to get blood around your body or whether there's no difficulties at all. So in the first year, in 2016, my systolic blood pressure was 90 and my diastolic blood pressure was 60. So that's the first, 90 and 60. In the second year, my systolic was 100 and the diastolic was 60. So there's 10 points increase on the systolic rating, and that is still within the ideal range. In both years, I've been asymptomatic, which means I've experienced no symptoms to do with blood pressure. I've not noticed any heartburn or any difficulties when exercising or anything like that. So both years, I have not felt any symptoms. So now we're on to the physical exploration that the doctor did. The physical exploration for 2016 was the same as 2017. So I'll just quickly go through what they did check. They did a general inspection and they said it was a good general inspection. They said skin and mucus, normal, well hydrated, eyes, reactive pupils, all good, denture, all fine, dental's fine, the pharynx, and that was normal. Otoscopy, no significant findings. Neck moved absolutely fine with no difficulties. Heart rhythmatic without blows or extractions, so that was fine. Abdomen absolutely fine. Spinal column again fine. No issues with extremities, such as I've got normal appearance and negative Fallon tests. Pretty much everything there was a little bit standard. There was no problems. Everything was inside the normal range. And lastly, there was a neurological exploration, and that also was inside the limits of normality. So on the general physical test, there was no difference from 2016 and 2017. They were both absolutely fine. So they did further analysis on my body. It was categorized under complementary tests. What they tested for was vision control, and also they did an electrocardiogram where I lay down the table, they strap some cables to me and take some readings. So the vision control on both years is absolutely fine. It says examination of the visual function performed gives a normal result, so vision absolutely fine. The electrocardiogram, no significant findings in the current layout, and that was the same from one year to the next, so all good, didn't suddenly die from being vegan. The vision test was a very interesting one, I think. So in 2016, they tested the close-sightedness and the far-sightedness. They tested my right eye, my left eye, and both together. So right eye for close and far scored 8 and 8. Left eye close and far scored 7 and 8. So my left eye was a little bit weaker there. And then both eyes together, close and far, was 8 and 8. So in the first year, a little bit less eye health on my left eye, which is this one. So on the second year, let's see where we're at here. On the second year, the eye health that they did, so again, same company, same testing methodology, they had the same equipment that they had from last year, I just hope they cleaned it. And the close for the right eye was 8 and 8, so that is the same. The left eye, close and far, was 9 and 8, so before it was 7 and 8, so now it's 9 and 8. The left eye is actually the stronger eye, and the binocular focus, both eyes together, is last year it was 8 and 8, this year it was 9 and 10 from close and far, so much improved readings for the eye health. So next up is a very important test for some people. It is the blood, so hopefully you can see this, but just here we've got sangre, which is the Spanish word for blood, and we've got all of the different values on the left here that they're measuring, 20 different things they're measuring here. They've got my results that I've got just here, and then they've got the typical value, the minimum and maximum. So if they fall within this range, they're happy with the test results, okay? So that's how the blood test works. One thing I would like to emphasize at this point is my year 1 results were good. they were nearly perfect. I was vegan for 2 months, and a lot of people were concerned that maybe I wasn't getting the vitamins and nutrients and all the minerals that I needed to be healthy. When the health test results came back, the doctor said it's all good, there's no concerns, you know, everything is pretty good. If we were being super critical, if we were being very fussy, and we should be, because we should all aim for perfect health, is there were 3 values that fell just outside of the normal range. So what I'm going to do is just show you those. This is translated to English. So you can see the highlighted values, and you can see how they just fell outside of the expected range there. So we had 3 values outside of the normal range. Nothing to concern the doctor, but still nonetheless, if we're being super critical, then there's 3 values that have gone outside of the range. Here is the big one. Were the results in the 2nd year for my blood work better or worse than the results of my blood work in the 1st year? And I was very concerned because I was thinking the results of the 1st year were very strong. They were very good. If I got the same again, I'll be very happy, and I'll be saying to everybody, hey, don't worry about going vegan after a year, your blood work will be just the same. So that was my main concern. The results are in from the 2nd year, and it was a bit of a surprise to me, but there was just one value that was slightly outside of the maximum range. So the earlier 3 results that were outside of the expected minimum and maximum values, they were now inside those ranges, and there was just one thing that was outside of the reference range. And so I was not expecting an improvement, because last year's results were almost perfect, but I did see an improvement in my blood work, so quite a good surprise. I've been pretty good with my diet throughout the year, but having said that, I have also had processed foods. You know, I've enjoyed life but also been healthy, so most of the time I had a whole foods plant-based diet. The other part of the time I had processed foods such as, you know, sausages, burgers, pies, all of that kind of stuff, still vegan but just processed, so you know, we know they're not as good for you as having a whole foods plant-based diet. So I guess what that shows you, that blood work, it shows you that you can be entirely healthy, you can improve your health while still not giving up the stuff that you really might like sausages and burgers and pies and stuff like that. I was very pleased to see that, and I was also quite surprised. They also tested something called ESR. I'm going to try and pronounce this. ESR is erythrocyte sedimentation rate. In 2016 and 2017, these values were both within the expected range, so no concerns with ESR. Next up is the biochemistry results, and this is particularly interesting for some people because within the biochemistry results is cholesterol. And cholesterol is very important because the biggest killer in society is heart disease. You'll get heart attacks and you die very suddenly without maybe warning before. So keeping your cholesterol down is very important. The impact that cholesterol has on your body is that it lines the veins in your body and your arteries with fat, with cholesterol and saturated fat. So if you eat animal products which are very high in cholesterol, LDL cholesterol, and also saturated fat, then that's not advised. It will start clogging up your arteries, and then 30-40 years later your body's working harder to push red blood cells around the body. So my reading of glucose was absolutely fine. It was within the reference value in the 1st year and the same on the 2nd year. The total cholesterol reading is 142 in 2016, so 142. In the 2nd year, the change was 140, so 140, 2 points reduction there. So that's definitely heading in the right direction. So better cholesterol in the 2nd year. We've also been tested on the acidic levels in urine, and from the 1st year and the 2nd year, they are all within perfect range. So there's not a lot of difference there. They're all within the reference value, so no problems. Lastly, for urine, a couple other things. The pH levels of my urine were unchanged from one year to the next. The recommended value is within 5 to 8 pH. My pH for both years was 7. We've got a couple of readings. They are largely unchanged from one year to the next and within the perfect range. So the urine readings were absolutely fine. So as a final summary of the results of the test, the blood pressure is ideal. It's within the ideal range and no problems there. The eye health, there's been a notable improvement from 2017 compared to 2016. My blood work has improved. There's only one value that's slightly outside of the ideal range now, whereas last year there were 3 values outside the ideal range, and my cholesterol is improved. It's lower versus the last year. So all in all, pretty good results. I'm very happy with it, and I'm honestly quite surprised because I didn't know if it would be better than last year's results, which were pretty great. If you're watching this and you're a doctor and you're interested in my results and you want to let me know something, please go ahead, let me know in the comments. I'll be very interested to hear from you. Please back up what you're saying with credible sources and with evidence, and I'll gladly read your comments and have a good chat with you. Very interested to learn from you. Health is really important to all of us. It doesn't matter what age you are. What you eat plays an impact on your health, and it's never too late to start eating more healthily and using the latest science available to live a healthier and happier life. But this leads us on to one of the very biggest issues of the challenges of looking after your health and your diet. The problem is when you go online and you search for what foods are healthy and which aren't, the issue is that many of the studies that are returned may be sponsored by interested parties who are trying to sell you a product. They're less interested in the science and more interested in trying to make their products look good and healthy to you. This is the case with many studies that have tried to debunk what the health. They were sponsored by the animal agriculture industry, and therefore it creates a lot of confusion to the public. So what do I do to get past the bias that are available online in studies? Well, I use a website called nutritionfacts.org, and this website is not a for-profit website. It's run by a doctor called Michael Greger. Michael Greger spends the majority of his time going through peer-reviewed scientific studies that show the impact that food has upon our health. After Dr. Greger's finished researching these studies, he posts a short summarized video on his website. He's got the transcription if you'd rather read the video instead of watching it, and he also links the sources to the scientific studies on every video he does, so you can go there and you can scrutinize the advice that he's given you. It always comes out clean. So I personally use nutritionfacts.org for my health. It's helped me clear up my colitis. I feel stronger, I feel healthier, I feel less tired, I feel amazing, I feel better than I ever have in my life. So I trust that website because it's come up with the goods for me and it's given me great health. The problem is you can't always trust a source of information that just makes you feel better. Smoking often makes smokers feel better. Drinking makes alcoholics feel better. You can't always go with what makes you feel better, and that is why it's really important to test your results. It removes the bias, and that's why I've been so transparent with my test results to you. I want to show you that I genuinely believe in what I'm doing, and not only that, but the testing and the medical science agrees with it. So if you're curious about nutritionfacts.org, do visit the website. There's going to be a link in the description of this video, so feel free to check that out. The website's helped me a lot, and it may help you feel better and stronger. If you don't like using your computer or your laptop to visit websites, they do have a completely optimized mobile website, and you can also get a free app on your phone. It's called Dr. Greger's Daily Dozen, and I use that every day just to track that I'm getting all the vitamins, minerals and nutrients that I need to be as healthy as possible. My last tip for you includes eating out and about. So as I've said, I've eaten processed foods during this year, but still my blood test results have come back very positive, even versus last year when I was vegan for 2 months. So it's entirely possible to still have your pizzas, your pies, your sausages and all of that type of food. But do make sure that if you do have that you don't eat too much, and it is all within moderation. They will be healthier than the animal counterparts of those foods, but they're still not great for you, so do limit your intake of those. If you want to, what I do to find restaurants near my area is use an application on my phone called Happy Cow. I've also put a link to that app in the description of this video, so if you want to find decent vegetarian and vegan restaurants in your area, worldwide, do use that app because I found that very useful, especially when traveling. So that is the health aspects. I've been completely honest with you. I've tested myself, I've tested my blood, my urine, my cholesterol, everything, and I've been completely honest and transparent with you and shared the results with you to show you that it can be done. It's not just my word, it's data. But now let's talk a little bit deeper about this topic. So I've got a question for you. If I can be completely healthy on a vegan diet, even having processed foods such as vegan sausages and vegan pies and pizzas, then why are we paying for animals to be tortured and killed for a diet that science is showing is killing us and causing the biggest diseases in the world? One of the reasons for not having a whole foods plant-based diet is because people say that they prefer to enjoy life more. But the ironic thing is, vegans have been shown to live longer than those that eat animals, and not only that, they live healthier without these onset diseases which can be easily prevented. So if you actually do want to live a healthier and happier life, stay away from animal products, and not only that, think about this. You will live a longer and healthier life. That is more time with your family, more time with the people that you love. If you've got a family, encourage them to eat a whole foods plant-based diet. The science has shown it is the healthiest diet available, healthier than the Mediterranean diet and any other diet in the world. So your family and loved ones will live a longer, happier life with you. Thanks very much for watching this. If you enjoyed it, please give me a like. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. I want to go now and I'm going to celebrate.